Peace and blessings, fam. I'm your brother in the struggle, Brother Alif. Today we're going to build from Our Saviour Has Arrived, page number 43. The messenger says here, the black man's God. First, let me take a little higher than that. He says, never has this kind of teaching been poured into your ears since the earth was or the nation was. I teach you not of prophets, but of God. No, no, no. I am not preaching of Isaiah and Moses and others. Those are prophets. I am bringing to you the knowledge of God himself, the black man's God. Why do you reject the black God when the black God is your God? The black God made the white God. Why do you reject him? Long before ever there was, as the old people used to tell me when I was a little boy, a when and a where, he was God. I bear them witness today. Just think it over. A little small atom of life rolling around in darkness. Think it over. Building itself up. Just turning in darkness. Making its own self. Let's go into it. Do I have any proof of this? Yes, sir. He made himself into total darkness. He put his own self turning on his own timetable in the black womb of the universe. He started rotating. He demands every life that comes into the universe today to start turning first over to me, for I had that to do myself. Now, I'm going to see that every life that comes into this universe comes out of total darkness. Every life. Yes, sir. It must come out of total darkness. Out of the womb of our mother did we come. Think about that for a moment. Now, I mean, here we have the power of the original man. Now, I don't want you to get confused when you hear that or read that. This is not talking about mental man, if you will. This is talking about physical man, meaning, your bones, your flesh, your water, your DNA, your RNA, your genetic essence, going back into your molecular state, going back into your atomic state. It goes further than that. It goes back into the pure energy. But, we talking about the matter right now. We talking about transforming the mind into the material plane, coming from the will all the way down to the physical plane. Remember, 7 dimensions to the black man: physical, emotional, mental, spiritual, soul, self, and will. The will is the highest plane, the God plane. When you hear us talking about the atom spinning and stuff like that that's talking about a physical atom. That physical atom produces the physical cells that produce the physical organs, that produce the physical baby, that grow into the physical teenager, that grows into the physical adult male, that grows into the physical old man, that physically deteriorates or transforms and breaks back down into the atomic particles and starts the cycle all over again. Has no beginning nor ending. But one of the things that the Honorable Elijah Muhammad teaches us is this. He teaches us that time is created by motion. That motion, that tiny atomic particle, not even a whole atom, just a baby atom, just a quark, just a piece of an atom. It had to use the law of vibration, had to make motion, had to vibrate. And that vibration activated and manifested what we call time. We create that time. It's a mathematical phenomenon. We still do that, still have that power. know what I mean? But your mind power, anything that you can imagine, anything that you see, this is one of the dangers of the devil's world. They stop the black man from imagining that he can imagine. But when you was born, you knew you can imagine. You know what I mean? I'll tell you a real story. You know what I mean? When I was a child, you know, I thought I could fly. And I mean, I thought I could fly. I used to, when I got older, I was, I was like one of Pennsylvania's. I was the 15th in the state of like out of 6,000 gymnasts. I was the 15th gymnast. I used to tumble my behind off. Me and shout out to Earl. Know what I mean, we used to Big Mike from North Philly. You know what I mean, we used to go McGonigal Hall and all that back in the day, Huntington Park. Gillespie, Gratz, Olney High School. I mean, we serious about gymnastics, flipping off roofs, pissy mattresses, walking on our hands in the streets. You know what I mean? We used to challenge each other, who could walk a whole block on our hands. You know what I mean? We was real deep into gymnastics. So, but psychologically, as a child living out 22nd in Indiana back then, I thought I could fly. You know what I mean? And every day I would just test my flying abilities. I would jump off the step, be in the air like 3-4 seconds, then come down, boom. Next day, 5-6 seconds, come down. It was just a game to me. Every time grade go to school, I got my little book bag on my joint. So I'm flying. I mean, every day I'm flying, having fun. You know what I mean? And one day I come running out the joint, and I jumped. This lady screamed, and it scared me. So I'm like, oh, man. Immediately came back down to earth. I mean, she's like, what are you doing, boo? And she basically explained to me that what I was doing was dangerous, that I couldn't fly. So I'm like, damn. I didn't know I couldn't fly. I thought everybody could fly. I mean, what the hell? Superman could fly on TV. I mean, so, I'm like, damn, I can't fly. What the heck? What you mean I can't fly? I fly all the time. So now I'm flying, but I'm hesitant. I'm doubting my ability to fly. Now I'm scared to fly. Know what I mean? And now I'm frustrated and mad at myself because she took away my superpowers. So what I did was this. I said, you know what? I was laying in bed all night. I said, I'm a fly or I'm a die. And I got up the next morning and went to school. Never forgot it. Jumped over the banister. No problems. We live like 3-4 houses from the corner house. I'm so fearless and like just doing flying that I jumped the last joint. And I forgot that the last joint, you don't land on the porch. It's the sidewalk down there. Anybody that lived down North Philly back then, this when Kelly's Corner and all that was out back then. This back in like, let me see. I was still a child, so this had to be like the early 70s, something like that there. You know what I mean? I was like, I was in elementary school, so I probably was like 8 years old, between 8 and 10, somewhere around there. I go off the joint, and it's a steel pole with concrete in it to stop the cars from coming up on the sidewalk hitting the stoop. Because when we go into school, we got to go to school down there. So I guess to protect us from getting hit by a car, I hit my head on the joint. Done. I'm out. I mean, surgery. They had to put the brace joint around my whole head, like to screw the screws into the joint. Like I'm physically blind. I can't see for like a month. You know what I mean? The doctor told my mom, look, he's real young. His nerve endings should grow back. You know what I mean? Boo, bang. I mean, so I'm now Temple Hospital. I'm messed up for real. I almost died that time. You know what I mean? But thankfully I healed up. You know what I mean? My mom had me in the car, and I seen the McDonald's light one day, and I was like, that's McDonald's. She's like, oh, my baby can see, all this stuff. But at the time, I didn't have knowledge of self. I didn't have, I wasn't stripped of the knowledge of self, my innate knowledge of self. Now, I mean, like we're born with intuition. We're born with instinct. Like a spider knows how to spin a web. A bee just be like, now I mean, I know how to find my way home. I know how to read the patterns. It's something in me. My DNA, it's encoded in us. Not me. I'm talking about you too. All of us. Know what I mean? All the original men. Know what I mean? I'm talking about the 5%, 85%, and 10%. Now, I mean, genetically, the black man is just all of the data, all of the information from 84 trillion years ago is in you. It may not be in you consciously, but consciously as well as subconsciously is in you. It's in your blood. It's in your reptilian brain. It's in your trauma. It's in the good, the bad, the ugly, heaven, hell, God, devil, know what I mean? Darkness, light, life, death, whatever. Know what I mean? It's there. I don't care if you grew up wealthy or poor. Know what I mean? You know, and by extension of the original man, it's in the black women. And by extension of the black man and black woman, it's in every human being on the face of the planet Earth in some degree. But the dominant degree, the dominant gene, the natural essence is from the black man. The one the messenger calls the original man, the Asiatic black man, to make it on the cream of the planet Earth, God of the universe. These devils, by stripping us of us, robbed us of the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding of ourselves. And a lot of times, we, even as grown men, educated so-called men, we let people tell us we can't fly. We listen to people, the people that think we can't fly, they're speaking out of not ignorance, they're speaking out of fear. You know what I mean? They're speaking out of fear because for the past 6,000 years, they've seen that the black man can die. So they don't want to see the black man fly. They fear that if the black man start flying, he's going to start dying. And it's hard to keep him on earth. Why we can't let him fly? We can't let him be God. He can't get back on the throne. He can't put his crown on. He can't put the S back on his chest. He can't wake up. We got to keep him asleep. Know what I mean? And they do that out of fear. Know what I mean? You know, psychologists like that Willie Lynch syndrome. Willie Lynch wasn't a real thing. I don't want you getting spooked up with some pseudoscience. Know what I mean? A black man wrote Willie Lynch. It's not that's not history. I mean, that's not science. Know what I mean? But it's good information in there that you can learn from. Know what I mean? About dominant and recessive genes and dominant recessive ideas. Know what I mean? Don't let them confuse your visions with their dreams. Know what I mean? The Bible teaches us when you dream a dream, say you dreamt a dream, don't call your dream a vision. I mean, the Master Muhammad teaches us a dream may or may not come true, but a vision is a real connection. It's a glimpse of the past, present, and future. It's only one cycle. Know what I mean? Don't. You know, a lot of times we look at the devil system. We look at what the devil's stupid behind scientists. You study Einstein and all the white science. They was dumb as hell and a whole bunch of stuff. They were smart because they had a whole bunch of old black men's books. They studied a lot of ancient Kemetic sciences. Know what I mean? E equals MC squared, ancient Egyptian stuff. Check it out. You'll see. Know what I mean? But don't let them put the fear of that mystery God in you and take away the true and living God that's in you. You can fly. Know what I mean? And right now, we're in a struggle to wake back up. Know what I mean? And it's a difficult struggle because it's so much doubt in us. We doubt ourselves. Know what I mean, and it's like if I was to go jump off a roof right now, I would fall because I got so much technology in my subconsciousness. It's going to take generations to get that nonsense out of us. But every day we have to study. Every day we have to remove their tricks and wake up to the reality of self, because we're going to start sparking young gods that's going to really fly. The struggle continues. Salam Allah. Peace.